Alright, we're going to get another edition of tying tips going here. My buddy Travis in Tennessee shot me a message a while back asking about articulating flies, like how I tie in my articulation wire and everything. So I got doing up some Bearleys here, kind of mass producing them. So I figured I would go ahead and shoot this while I got everything going. And basically what I do is I just take, I mentioned before that I don't go with the GSP. I try and save some of that gel spun. So I just go with a regular 8/0, 6/0, whatever threads on the spool basically. And I'll just build up a thread base. And that's good enough right there. I don't get too picky about having them evenly spaced, or just so you have a little bit of a thread base down. With this, I mean, you've seen it. I mean, a lot of people use this, the B-Long 19 strand. This is the 0.46, I believe. Yeah, 0.46, because we're going with the Bearleys. They're a little bit bigger. And as you take this stuff off the spool, I mean, it's going to have a natural bend. You can kind of see to where it's, there's a little bend to it. You can use this bend to your benefit to, I mean, you can see it stays consistent the whole way through. So you can use this bend to your benefit to make articulating the flies a little bit easier. Now this is just how I tie them in. I'll tie the one strand in, put my bead on my back half, but just take this bend and have that curve going right over top of your hook. You don't want it off to the side, my side, or going up. You want this natural bend to kind of fold down over. And then I'll tie this in on the top side, but it's not centered on the top. It's going to be more toward the camera side. And I'll just run this the whole way back. To where it's going to drop, to where it's going to stop. And then I'll come back through. And I'm going to take this, and this is going to lay right next to the wire I tied in on top. So as you can see, it's laying right next to it, but it's further on the camera side. Now, from tying so many of these, I kind of know where I want my wire to stop, to where, I'm going to use this for my taper. So I'm just going to cut this off right here. And when I go and tie in everyone's seen the Bearley. That's a phenomenal fly. When I tie in the Marabou, it's going to be sitting right here. So this is all going to add into my taper and to my bulk. So this is just, after tying so many of them, I know where I want them to stop. I'm going to have the back plumes going this way. The center plumes are going to be right here. And then that's going to help aid with the overall taper that I want in the body. So I'm not going to have any bumps or anything. I'll bring this back right to about here and cut it. And if you did it right, this is going to be a nice straight wire. It's not going to be, see how it's coming almost perfectly straight back here. It's not going to be kicked off to this side or this side. And this just makes it a lot easier when you when you connect your back hook. So go ahead with just the one bead. This is a 6mm, just red bead, and then we'll go with our back hook. Now we'll take this right through here, and before I go any further, I'm normally just going to take like 1 or 2 quick wraps just to hold everything in place. Then I'm going to set my bead where I want it. And let this go. And look down the back side. And you want this loop to be going in the same plane as your hook. You don't want it kicked off to one side or the other. And if it is, I mean, you can just take and twist right here and it'll move that loop around for you. So we get this loop going back, and you want your bead touching, and then I take it, I'll have my bead, and then I'll use that as my distance, as my gauge. Your loop is going to be just a little bit shorter in diameter, a little bit shorter than the diameter of the bead. This gives it plenty of room to move, but it doesn't fall on itself. You go getting too much longer, and then your back hook winds up coming around and hooking up with your front. Get it much shorter and it robs your articulation. So I'm just going to bring this back around and tie this in, trim it up at the same spot that I did the other one, and we're good right there. Now you can stop right there, because I mean it's tied in, it's double over on itself, it's not going to go anywhere. But what I typically do, if I can find it here, I'll grab my GSP afterward, just because it's so much stronger, and I'll just tie a couple of wraps in here before I go with the rest of the fly, and I'll just pull tight on this just a couple of times, and then just kind of open loop it to the back, and then you're set. That's how I articulate my streamers. But hopefully that helps everybody out. Helps everyone out. Thanks, Travis, for sending in the question. But if you guys have any further, as always, leave them with me, and I'll get back to you relatively quick. It took me a little while there. I apologize for that, but we got her out there eventually. But thanks again.